For 1 in 5 Canadians, pain is more than a symptom. It's a disease. Imagine waking up every day, going through your regular activities, but experiencing pain doing the most mundane things. Walking to school or work, getting groceries, playing sports. Every day is a roll of the dice to see how you will feel physically and emotionally. Approximately 7 million Canadians suffer from chronic pain, which is commonly described as pain that lasts more than 3 months. Although certain injuries can heal and go away, chronic pain can last years or even the majority of one's life. After experiencing pain for most of their adult life, 2 Toronto women have turned to surgery, hoping for a change. Anne Kazupe is a 51-year-old mother of 2. For over 20 years, she has had a condition called spondylolisthesis, where a bone in the spine can shift forward and cause lower back pain.
Yeah, it's about 4% of kids are born with it. It's aggravated by activity. I did a lot of gymnastics and sports when I was younger, so that's sort of the thought why it progressed. Normally, this disorder doesn't affect people till they get in their about 60s or 70s. But I noticed the biggest change after I had my kids. I had an office job and sat at a computer most of the time. So it affected me a little bit during those years, but most of it became a problem after I had kids. So about almost 25 years ago, I started to notice the biggest differences in my back. And I've been on disability for 12 years because of it.
Anne has been on the waiting list for surgery for 2 years. After trying massage therapy, acupuncture, and medication, she's ready to try something new.
There's nothing that you can do that will permanently do it aside from the surgery. That's why I've been on disability for so long, waiting to see if there may be some other alternatives. And they said if I don't do it now, there's no point in doing it later because I'll be too old to do the surgery. Ouch. I've had enough of this. I've been off work for long enough. And it's affected my life, my daily living too much that it makes sense for me to do it now.
Sabrina Say is a 27-year-old who works in funeral services. She was injured at the age of 13 when she was tackled playing football.
I ended up seeing this physiotherapist for actually about 3 years because they weren't getting the results that they wanted out of me. I could walk again, and I was good that way, but I wasn't stable. The kneecap wasn't stable. So I could be standing at the corner waiting for a light to change, and if I turned from the hips to look at something like a noise or whatever, I could actually end up having my kneecap shift. By the end of it, they basically just told me that it didn't heal properly and I would have to live with it, which is why there was such a big gap between when the original injury happened and now that I'm seeking treatment, because I tried to live with it for as long as I could.
Karina is Anne's daughter, a 4th-year new media student at Ryerson University. She lives with her mom in their 2-bedroom apartment. While her mom undergoes and recovers from surgery, she's stepping up to take care of the home, her grandmother, and their dogs.
So it's taken quite an emotional and mental toll on myself and my family, and my mom especially. And I always feel for my mom because there's not really much that I can do to help her. There's only so many things that I can do. It takes a lot to try and manage everything and try and help my mom and try and deal with my own things that I'm trying to cope with school and personally and everything. So I just feel really bad that I can't do more for her, and I wish I could. So she says that I do a lot, but there's always, obviously, as her daughter, I always wish that I could do more.
I think in my case, a lot of people look at me and they don't think there's anything wrong or they don't see it, but taking a lot of medication is just a mask, and it's easy to put on a face out in public. People are not courteous because they think that you're well enough to do everything on your own. So people may not hold a door for you. Even opening something like a door can be a challenge for me because they're quite heavy. You know, people slam doors. If I was in a wheelchair, they'd probably hold the door for me.
I'll take the elevator up 2 floors. and you always get somebody who looks at you, and you know that they are thinking like, you know, why is this young person who looks perfectly healthy on the outside taking the elevator up only a couple of floors? And I kind of want to stand there and be like, hey, just because you can't see the injury doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but you just ignore the looks.
When I finally did see her at like 8 o'clock at night, it was really weird. My mom's had like small surgeries before and procedures, but never anything to that extent. And it was almost this like just really like mind-blowing realization that something she's been waiting to do and something that she's been just dying to get done for the past like 10 years has finally happened. And kind of just saying to her like, it's over, like the worst part is over. And she was obviously really out of it on a lot of morphine and anesthetics and stuff. She didn't really know what was going on, but for me it was like a pretty big moment, and I was really proud of her.
Sabrina also faced a painful surgery to fix her knee and was on painkillers for several days.
Because for the first 2 nights, I don't think I would have been able to sleep. I wouldn't have been able to function with the pain, because when they first took the nerve blocks out, they had to wait before they gave me any dosage of narcotic, because they had to make sure that I could bend my foot and everything so that there wasn't any damage accidentally done. And there wasn't. But in that time period where the nerve block, like, it wore off and I was able to move my leg, oh boy, that was something. I can understand why they say that it's a very painful procedure. It had already started healing, but I was in significant amounts of pain. I was pressing that button, even though it made me feel bad. I was just like, oh no, no, no.
Sabrina's husband, Drew, has been her main supporter through her chronic pain, and now, after her surgery, he has become her main caregiver. He says even though Sabrina faces a long recovery time, it's for the better.
It's actually a good thing that now she's had the procedure and that we're now working towards an improved quality of life. It's crummy in the sense that you know that she's in physical pain while we're on trips, having to sit down, having to readjust, and just having to kind of plan around that physical ailment has been challenging sometimes. But as a whole, it's we make the best of it, and now hopefully once the procedure is done and she's all through with physiotherapy, it'll just be a lot more comfortable for her.
The couple already has plans for when Sabrina fully heals.
We do want to learn how to do swing dancing.
Yeah,
that's one of the things that one of those like couple things that we wanted to do, and I can't do at this point because I could just imagine the terror. But hopefully, when this is all done, we will learn how to swing dance.
Yep.
Massage Matters is a Toronto clinic that specializes in massage therapy, chiropractic, and acupuncture services. Sean Lambro is the founder of Massage Matters. He explains why women are more likely to experience chronic pain than men.
Hormones is a big thing with when it comes to females. They have more hormonal changes. So there's a saying, the 3 F's: female, fat, and 40. So if you kind of hit all those and you're above 40, then hormones are changing, so you're more sensitive to pain.
Dr. Terry Borsuk is a postdoctoral researcher in the Department of Psychology at the University of Toronto, Mississauga, where he's been studying pain and its mind-body connection. He explains how chronic pain can impact you emotionally and psychologically.
You're living with pain. It actually colors everything you do. Pain colors everything you do. It changes the way you perceive the world. And so, yes, it can lead to depression, can lead to frustration, can lead to anxiety. And that can have an isolating effect, which in turn can exacerbate the pain, can make it more difficult to cope. If we find it difficult to, let's say, get out and socialize, if just going out with friends is difficult, then we're not able to get the kind of social connectedness that we all need as human beings. And with diminished social connectedness comes worsening of the pain, because now we're not only experiencing physical pain, but to some extent emotional pain as well.
Anne is now in the Bridgepoint Active Healthcare Rehabilitation Hospital, just down the street from where she lives. Although her surgery was successful, She lost feeling and some mobility in her foot and leg. She was unable to return home as planned.
I'm a bit discouraged at this point, just because I wasn't anticipating this happening after the surgery. I thought I was going to come out with a good back, and I came out with a numb foot. So, you know, it's a bit saddening, but the upside is that I'm in a really good facility, which makes a huge difference, I think, in my progression, because when you feel good, it makes a big difference. So at least I'm happy to be here and looking forward to being able to walk again.
In the next 10 days, she wants to be home and be able to walk with a cane, which is really good. And it's mainly her foot. So she has a lot of motivations being in the rehab center, and she knows that, or well, she's told me that she knows how important it is, and she's going to do everything that she can to get out of there as fast as she can, but also with those goals achieved. So I'm really proud of her, and she's really strong. I don't know if I could do something like that.
It's a really big thing on my daughter, and I think she feels bad that she can't come as often as she would like to. She's really trying to. It's been hard on her because she's had to juggle the whole home life while I've been here. You know, the laundry, the dogs, on top of all her schooling and everything. She's a strong person, so she doesn't really show that much to me, but I know it affects. It's great. Sorry. This has been a really big burden on everybody else, more so than me. I mean, I sit here all day, but it's really hard on the people that are outside of here, because they can't do probably what they want to do. And I appreciate everything they're doing. I know they do it out of love, but it doesn't mean that I don't feel bad.
It's going well. I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm hopeful. Putting full weight on it does, like, it hurts, but I can shuffle slowly like a little old lady with my crutches. It's bad, but at least I'm walking on it. Do you want to see? It's not. It doesn't look. It's not gross. Well, it's a little bit weird. It's mostly what's weird about it is that there's so much muscle atrophy that my leg is, like, my calf is super, like, small, and like, this is all swollen still, obviously. But actually, if I stand, you'll see that the difference between this leg and this leg. Look at the muscle tone, right? Look at how different it is. And when I sit, hear that crunching? That's that knee. I worried about getting old. Everybody has issues as you age and everything like that, and it's normal to get arthritis as you get older. If my knees are so bad now and I'm only in my 20s, am I going to be completely immobile by the time I'm 80? Am I going to be able to walk at all? I don't want to be in a state where, like, I'm in a wheelchair because my knees have been bad my entire life and now they've just given up completely.
Sabrina is healing faster than expected. Depending on her recovery, she may decide to get the same surgery on her other knee. She hopes to complete her degree in funeral services and is looking forward to being able to work again. Anne went home for a few days during Easter weekend, but returned to Bridgepoint to finish her therapy. Although her back is healing well, the nerve pain in her leg and foot is still impacting her recovery. It may take a long time before Anne is completely pain-free.